He's rich. He's famous. Millions of people admire him, yet Keanu Reeves still walks alone. No scandals, no messy breakups, no desperate headlines, just silence. But behind that silence is a heartbreaking truth most fans never hear. A love lost. A life changed forever. And a reason why Keanu Reeves chose peace over romance. Stay with me, because this isn't a story about being single, it's a story about real love. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Now, let's dive into what really happened. Everyone knows his face. From blockbuster action films to quiet, emotional roles, Keanu Reeves has been a constant presence in Hollywood for decades. His performances are powerful, his screen presence unforgettable, and his success undeniable. But beyond the movies, there is something else people admire even more: his kindness. Fans often share stories of Keanu helping strangers, giving up his seat on public transport, quietly donating millions to charities, and treating everyone with respect, no matter who they are. In an industry known for ego and excess, Keanu Reeves feels different. Real. Human. And yet, despite all the fame, admiration, and success, one question continues to follow him everywhere. Why is Keanu Reeves still single? In a world obsessed with celebrity relationships, where every romance becomes breaking news and every breakup turns into a headline, Keanu stands apart. There are no flashy love stories, no public scandals, and no dramatic separations played out across social media. No constant appearances with new partners. No attention-seeking headlines. Instead, we see a quiet man walking alone, reading on a bench, riding the subway, or sitting peacefully at a cafe. A man who seems completely uninterested in proving anything to the world. For years, fans have speculated. Interviews offer small hints, never full answers. Friends and colleagues speak of him with deep respect, often describing him as private, thoughtful, and emotionally deep. And Keanu himself? He rarely speaks about his personal life at all. But when he does, his words carry weight. If you listen carefully, not to rumors, but to his own voice, you begin to sense a deeper truth. One shaped not by fame or choice alone, but by experience. A truth built on love that was once deeply felt, loss that left lasting scars, and a journey of healing that continues quietly. This is not a story about loneliness or failure in love. It is not about rejection or sadness. This is a story about understanding the value of peace. About protecting the heart after it has been broken. And about choosing a meaningful life over a noisy one. To truly understand why Keanu Reeves is still single, we must first look beyond the spotlight and see the man he became behind the fame. Keanu Reeves' life has never been as perfect as the characters he plays on screen. While audiences see a fearless hero, a skilled fighter, or a confident leading man, the reality behind the camera tells a much quieter and more painful story. Long before the world began asking why he was still single, Keanu was learning how to live with loss. In the late 1990s, Keanu found something rare in Hollywood: real love. He fell deeply in love with Jennifer Syme, a relationship built not on fame or attention, but on genuine connection and shared dreams. They were happy together. Friends remember them as hopeful, excited, and looking forward to building a future side by side. But that future was suddenly taken away. Their daughter was stillborn, a loss so devastating that words often fail to describe it. For any parent, losing a child is one of the deepest pains imaginable. For Keanu and Jennifer, it was a heartbreak that shook the very foundation of their lives. The joy they had planned turned into grief almost overnight. And then, before healing could even begin, tragedy struck again. Just 2 years later, Jennifer Syme died in a tragic car accident. In a painfully short period of time, Keanu lost not only his child, but also the woman he loved. 2 unimaginable losses, one after the other, leaving a silence that could never truly be filled. This kind of grief does not simply fade with time. It changes how you see the world. It reshapes the heart. Keanu did not respond with anger or bitterness. Instead, he grew quieter, more reflective, more careful with his emotions. In rare interviews, Keanu has spoken about grief and love with honesty. He has shared that loss teaches you something most people never understand until it happens. It shows you how powerful love truly is, and how fragile life can be. When you've lost something that meaningful, your heart learns caution. Not because it no longer believes in love, but because it understands its weight. Keanu Reeves didn't close his heart after loss. He simply chose to protect it, with patience, humility, and deep respect for what love truly means. In the world of fame and constant attention, many celebrities rush into relationships to fill emotional gaps or silence loneliness. Relationships become headlines, and love often turns into a performance. Keanu Reeves chose a very different path, one that few in Hollywood dare to walk. Despite being one of the most successful and recognizable actors in the world, Keanu has always lived with remarkable simplicity. He is often seen riding the subway like an ordinary person, sitting alone at small cafes, or walking quietly through the city without security or attention-seeking behavior. Luxury never defined him, and neither did public approval. For Keanu, love was never about red carpets, public displays, or social status. To him, love is something private, something deeply personal that doesn't need an audience. He believes real connection happens away from cameras, through honesty, shared silence, and mutual respect. Keanu once shared a powerful thought that explains his approach to relationships. He said he does not want to be in a relationship just to avoid being alone. For him, companionship should bring calm, not chaos. Love should make life lighter, not heavier. It should add peace, not pressure. This belief sets him apart in an industry that constantly demands more visibility, more romance, more noise. Keanu refuses to force love just because society expects it or because time is passing. He understands that rushing into the wrong relationship can be lonelier than being alone. Over the years, Keanu has made it clear that he values emotional maturity above all else. He looks for honesty, depth, and understanding, qualities that cannot be rushed or manufactured. Superficial attraction has never been enough for him. He wants something meaningful, something real. In a fast-moving world that celebrates speed and instant gratification, Keanu chose patience. He chose reflection. He chose to wait, not out of fear, but out of respect for himself and for love itself. Wait for something genuine. Wait for something that feels right. Or accept solitude if that truth never arrives. For Keanu Reeves, being alone was never a sign of emptiness. It was a sign of clarity, proof that fame never had the power to define his heart. One of the biggest misconceptions about Keanu Reeves is the idea that he is unhappy or incomplete because he is single. Many people assume that someone without a partner must be lonely, sad, or lacking love in their life. But in Keanu's case, nothing could be further from the truth. Keanu has often spoken about the beauty and importance of solitude. He doesn't see being alone as a punishment or a void to be filled. Instead, he embraces it as a time for reflection, growth, and self-discovery. He reads books, rides his motorcycle across the open roads, sits quietly in cafes observing the world, and finds joy in small, everyday moments. Beyond that, he quietly helps others, donating, supporting causes, and lending a hand, often without the media ever noticing. For Keanu, life's fulfillment comes from living authentically, not from public recognition or validation. There is one quote from Keanu that perfectly captures his philosophy. "Someone told me the definition of hell: on your last day on earth, the person you became will meet the person you could have become." This simple yet profound statement reveals everything about his approach to life and love. Keanu focuses on becoming a better human being rather than chasing labels, status, or societal expectations. He understands that meaningful relationships can only happen when you are comfortable and at peace with yourself. Before opening your heart to someone else, you must first nurture your own. For Keanu, being single is never a sign of failure, nor does it imply loneliness in the conventional sense. It is a conscious choice rooted in self-respect, patience, and a deep understanding of what love truly requires. He values emotional depth over convenience, integrity over appearances, and meaningful connection over fleeting attraction. In a world that often equates being in a relationship with happiness, Keanu Reeves stands as a quiet reminder that solitude can be enriching, powerful, and liberating. Being single does not mean being incomplete. It means choosing your own path, respecting your heart, and waiting for something real, something worth your time and trust. Keanu's life teaches us that true contentment comes not from filling a void with someone else but from learning to walk through life confidently, with peace, purpose, and self-awareness. So, after all we've seen, the question still lingers. Why is Keanu Reeves still single? The answer, though simple on the surface, carries a depth that is often overlooked. Keanu hasn't given up on love, not for a moment. But he has chosen a path that many in his world rarely consider. He refuses to settle. Love, for Keanu, is not a race. It is not a status symbol or a headline. It is not something to be rushed simply because society or time demands it. Having experienced profound loss, the death of a child, the passing of someone he deeply loved, Keanu knows firsthand how fragile and precious love truly is. He understands that love is not something to be taken lightly, and that rushing into it without care can lead to more pain than joy. This is why he approaches his relationships and life itself with such thoughtfulness, patience, and respect. Keanu Reeves is open to love, but only under the right circumstances. Only if it feels genuine. Only if it brings calm rather than chaos. Only if it nurtures the soul instead of adding pressure. He waits for love that is real, profound, and mutually enriching. A love that does not compromise his values or peace of mind. In today's fast-paced, instant gratification world, where many chase relationships for convenience, social validation, or fear of loneliness, Keanu's approach stands out. He reminds us that it is perfectly acceptable to pause, to heal, and to remain single if the alternative risks losing your true self. He teaches that patience is not weakness, and that waiting for the right connection is far more valuable than settling for the wrong one. This philosophy is part of what makes Keanu Reeves not just a beloved actor, but a deeply admired human being. Millions respect him not only for his work on screen, but for his integrity, humility, and emotional wisdom. Sometimes, the strongest people in the world are not the ones who rush into love. The strongest are the ones who understand it well enough to wait, to protect it, and to honor it. Keanu Reeves' life and choices show us that real love is worth the wait, and that respecting yourself and your heart is the greatest act of courage of all.